make this stop. We came a little bit out of our way, and I said, we're going to come here, we're going to talk about that horrible scene that we witnessed not so long ago, where there was a lack of law and order and people that have no clue what's happening, right? But I've traveled to Minnesota to meet with small business owners who were victims of the violence, mayhem, destruction on the streets of Minneapolis. And for these brave patriots, right over here, these are a couple of groups of the Maine. We have a lot of them back there. We're going to see them the next time. They're all lined up. But we appreciate you being here very much. And you're going to say a few words. And really, I say words of strength and words of encouragement, because what they've been through is incredible. But for these brave patriots, all they wanted was to live the American dream. That's all they wanted, to start a business and a family, to give back to the community that they call home and that they love. The fact is, they love our country, and our country loves them, and we want to show them about that. And that's why I came, and that's why I stopped, and that's why we're here to see all of you, but to be represented really by these incredible people. So thank you for all you've gone through. Thank you very much. Well, the city's liberal mayor refused to defend its citizens, which was incredible. Their lives were destroyed while the leadership of the Democrat Party cheered. Their dreams were burned to the ground. We all witnessed it. We all saw it very vividly on television or wherever. This is the difference between us and Joe Biden, Mayor Jacob Fry, and Governor Tim Walz. Weakness is also the currency of your liberal Senator Tina Smith. And you know, she's now running against a great gentleman. So Jason, get out there and vote for him. Get out and vote for Jason. You know that he's going to win. You see, the polls are about even. And that's a big step. He's a great candidate. He's going to do a fantastic job. Get out and make sure he wins. If we can't win now, nobody can win, because what you went through so stupidly that they allowed that to happen. And this is a Pikers for Trump. Thank you. I saw you do that. You just turned around to show Pikers for Trump. They're all over the place. Thank you. Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it. My message to Minnesota is clear. I'm here to help you. We will bring back law and order to your community. We will bring it back, and we'll bring it back immediately. And you know, the words law and order are words that Democrats don't like to use. They don't think they're politically good. There's nothing wrong with law and order. There's law and order, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. They're ashamed to use those words. It's incredible. As president, my goal to restore safety to our streets and to help these innocent Americans rebuild their lives, and rebuild their lives very quickly. That's what I'm here for. By contrast, the Democrats are promising to elevate their left-wing war on cops and to bring it up to the White House in the form of Sleepy Joe Biden. I don't think that's going to work. You know, I noticed at their convention tonight, these are all taped speeches. Michelle Obama, her speech is taped. Why don't they tell me that? I'll tape my speech. Next week I'll tape it. It's a lot easier. I'll make sure it's perfecto. Every word will be perfect. If I don't do it, I'll give it 5 or 6 goes. I'll say, pick the best one. What is this? They're taping their speeches. I just learned that her speech is taped and that most of them are taped. I don't know. We'll have to speak to Republican leadership and say, let's tape those speeches. You want to go to a snooze? You know, when you hear a speech is taped, it's like there's nothing very exciting about it, right? So I just heard that coming in. I expected to see, you know, and Fox will broadcast them more than they broadcast us. You know that. We've seen the blueprint here in Minneapolis. The city recently voted to abolish the police department. They actually did. They actually went to that extent. These people, fools. And to take away your Second Amendment, they will be taking away your Second Amendment if they win. If Biden wins, as sure as you're standing, and he'll have nothing to do with it. He'll say, what is the Second Amendment? Would you explain that to me? That means they're going to take away your guns. And as sure as you're standing here today, if they win, and that's what's going to happen. Remember this, I am the only thing standing in the way of your Second Amendment. It's going to be either taken away or obliterated. And by the way, many other things, like we lower taxes, and like we lower regulations, and like we built a strong military. We take care of our vets. We have veterans' choice, veterans' accountability, and all things that nobody thought were going to be happening. After the riots in Minneapolis, Kamala Harris, you know her? She's the one who finished so badly that she was embarrassed. She ran out of town, and then they said, we're going to choose you for vice president. I mean, she finished so badly. She started off strong, day one. After that, everyone really understood her, understood what she represents and who she represents. And she went down like a rock in water, and she left town before the first vote was taken, right? Didn't she leave and quit? And also, there was nobody that was meaner and said horrible things about Vice President Biden than Kamala, even worse than Pocahontas, right? She was nastier and meaner and more vicious than Pocahontas. So now you have Kamala, who's very strong anti-fracking. In other words, your energy bills are going to go through the roof. They're going to love her in Texas. They're going to love her in Ohio and Pennsylvania. We're against fracking. Well, that's the end of those. I said before, George Washington could be running for office. If he's anti-fracking, anti-guns, and anti-religion, he's going to have a hard time. He's going to have a hard time in your state, too, because you feel the same way we do. But Kamala Harris encouraged Americans to donate to the so-called Minnesota Freedom Fund. You know what that is? Which bailed out the rioters, looters, assaulters, and anarchists from jail. And Biden's staff did the same thing. They donated a lot of their money to get them out of jail so that everyone was right back on the streets. Think of that. This is what is running for office. This is what we're competing against. And the primary competitor, Joe, he's in his basement. He just doesn't come out. They don't ask him questions. I said, I wish somebody, they asked him a couple about 2 months ago. It was like, hey, hi, are you enjoying your run? Yes. Oh, okay, good. That was the question. Are you enjoying it? They don't ask me those questions. I have people, they have fire coming out of their eyes. But their sympathies lie with lawbreakers and with criminals. My heart is with law-abiding, hard-working Americans like these people. And my heart's also with the great men and women of law enforcement who are treated very badly. KB Bell is a firefighter with Brooklyn Center Fire Department and a brave guy, and his people just love him. With his wife, Twana, they have 4 children. He devoted his life savings to building a sports bar and fought so hard to get it built. He was so proud of it. It was up. It was successful. He was so proud. On May 27th, that dream was viciously demolished by rioters and vandals. KB and Twana, please come up and say a few words, please.
My name is KB Bala. I'm a firefighter, also a businessman. This is my wife, Twana Bala. We have 4 kids out here in Minnesota. I immigrated from West Africa, like been here for over 25 years. Always dream about opening my own bar and restaurant. That's something that I have dreamed about. So my wife and I worked so hard, saved up to have our dream come true. So it was a blessing that we could finally, get to see that, But due to the rioting that happened in the city, our bar was burned down, and we had to start over, But there's a silver lining through the whole story that the work came together. Everybody was a lot of support. There was a lot of prayer. There was a lot of donation. And now we're in a better position to rebuild. So we're just grateful and blessed for the opportunity to start over.
Will you be rebuilding? Will you be rebuilding?
Yes.
And you have the financing to rebuild and everything?
Working on it.
Are you close?
Close, but not close.
How much will it be? How much are you going to need?
We're looking at a new building right now to purchase. And it's on the market right now for $1.3 million. So that's kind of what we're right now negotiating.
because you had a real success, right? You built a real success there.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe we can help you out a little bit with government here. We'll try. We'll try. All right, we'll see what we can do. Okay? That's good. What a beautiful couple. Thank you. Thank you both very much. Let's give it a shot. Thank you. Hey, KB, he wants to know the name of the bar. Go ahead. Because the bikers over there, they'll be there, like, even if it's... KB, even if it's burned down, they'll be there tonight, right?
It's called Scores Bar. Scores Bar.
Okay? Okay, thank you. That's great. We'll work on that. Jim Stage owns Lloyd's Pharmacy in St. Paul. A lot of people know Lloyd's, which has operated in the same building for more than 100 years, until it was set ablaze and burned by the anarchists. They're anarchists. Everyone says, oh, don't use that term. Don't use that term. Radical left. I'll go radical left anarchists. Okay, if you don't mind. Until it was set ablaze. It was burned down to the ground viciously. I saw it on television burning. I said, what a shame. Jim, please come up and say a few words, please. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Jim Stage. I grew up in the Midway area of St. Paul. I grew up going to Lloyd's Pharmacy as a kid, became a pharmacist and purchased the pharmacy in 2014. And as Mr. President said, on the night of May 28th, my pharmacy was looted for 5 hours, and then it was burned to the ground that evening. We do plan to rebuild in the same location. We hope to open up the spring of 2021. Since the building was destroyed, because we were a pharmacy, we had to triage the patients out of another location, Setzer Pharmacy in Roseville, for 6 weeks. In the meantime, we built a satellite location pharmacy, and we got that up running 6 weeks, and we are servicing the Midway area of St. Paul right now out of that location. We continue to service that neighborhood now and will until we get the new building rebuilt. I appreciate the leadership, Mr. President, and the government leaders for anything they can do to uphold law and order in the neighborhood, in the community, so my customers, my employees will feel safe to work and to be about in that city. So thank you, Mr. President, for fighting for law and order in the American cities, and we ask that the other politicians rise to the same challenge of protecting our businesses and our neighborhoods. That's what we need. Thank you, Mr. President.
Jim, so you own the land. Are you rebuilding the store, the pharmacy?
Yes, sir.
So you're rebuilding it. Has it started already?
The debris has been removed. We haven't broke ground yet. We're hopeful to late August, early September.
Is the city at all working with you? Are they helping?
Yeah, there's been a little bit of hiccup with the debris because it was
No, I guess they want you to pay your taxes before they remove the debris.
Yeah, there was a little
You
bit of
too?
that. Yeah, there was more on that in Minneapolis, but in St. Paul, the city of St. Paul worked a little bit better with us on that.
All right. Whatever we can do, we're going to help too. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Jim. Jamarcus Merger's auto repair shop was looted, burned, and completely destroyed. Then the city of Minneapolis told him he had to pay property taxes before they would clear away the rubble. Same thing, Jim, right? Same thing as you have. Jamarcus, if you could come up and say a few words as to what you're going to be doing, and we'll see if we can help too. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hi, everyone. My name is Jamarcus Merger. I moved to Minnesota from Ethiopia 15 years ago. Following the protest of the killing of George Floyd in South Minneapolis, my auto repair shop, which is located on 36th and Nicollet Avenue, was completely destroyed. The contents and customer vehicles and my own tow truck is completely gone. I'm here to build a new life and pursue American dream. And I'm here today to say no to this kind of action. Nobody should not be through this, and this should not be happen to anyone. And when there is a law in order, So thank you, Mr. President, for being here for us and for the others. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck with it. Good luck. You feel confident about the future?
Yes, we already cleaning. We are already cleaning up and start rebuilding it. It might take time. This is the only way myself and my two little ones live from. I'm strong. I'm here to fight and to stand up again.
That's great. Thank you. Great. We'll be with you too. Okay. And I think we have one of our stars. Is that Kaylee over there? Is that Kaylee? Oh, Kaylee, come here. Kaylee. Hasn't she been a great spokesperson? We've had some very good ones. Kaylee, maybe say a few words, Kaylee.
We love you, Kaylee!
Hello, Minnesota. It's great to be here with you. It is such an honor to work for the law and order president. When Democrats have not taken action, children have been dying in their streets, this president has taken action. Operation Legend, named after 4-year-old Legend Taliaferro, who was shot in his bed, was led by this president. And guess what? As of Friday, we could announce that the killer, suspected killer of Legend Taliaferro, has been found, has been charged, thanks to the law and order president.
Thank you. Great job. Thank you very much, Kaylee. John Wolf owns the Chicago liquor store. It's called Lake Liquor, and he had a tremendous business which has been on the same corner, John, I think since 1972, right? 1972. His business was looted and set on fire, causing over $1 million in damage. John, please come up, tell us what happened and what we're going to do about it. Thank you, John. Please.
President Trump, welcome to Minneapolis, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
My name is John Wolf, and I'm the owner of Chicago Lake Liquors, a business that's been a fixture in South Minneapolis since 1959. In the early morning of May 28th, my business was broken into. I called 911 over 10 times without any response, all while watching looters damage my building and haul away product. The feeling of helplessness I had, knowing that no one was coming, is indescribable. I faced 3 nights of looting, 6 fires, 3 feet of standing water, over $1 million worth of stolen and damaged product. There is nothing more important for elected officials than providing safety to residents and businesses. Without that, nothing else works. We are currently experiencing real problems that have real consequences, and we need real leaders that make tough decisions. Politicians can't bury their heads and hope these issues go away. They won't. This isn't a social studies experiment. This is real life with real people. Action should have consequences. Has anyone been arrested for all this looting? The answer is no. Without consequences, people feel emboldened to do as they want. What we need is law and order. While city leaders discuss reimagining the police department, Minneapolis still needs law enforcement. Here's the deal. I pay a lot of taxes, and in return there's an understanding. The city protects me. I held up to my end, the city of Minneapolis did it. Minneapolis businesses need a partner in government to provide law and order. And I didn't see anyone locally stepping up to the plate. I believe in this South Minneapolis community and want to rebuild. But I need help. And I know, Mr. President, you can be that partner of mine. Again, thanks, and I so appreciate you coming.
Thank you very much. Would you like to say something? Go ahead, please.
My name is Kathy Wolf. I'm John's wife. Thank you, Mr. President, for coming today.
Thank you, Kathy.
As a wife of a businessman, you endure the long hours, sacrifice family time and holidays, ride the waves of up and downs of employee and financial fluctuations, but never do you think you'd have to deal with complete destruction and looting of your business. The first night of the riots, I watched with tears in my eyes my husband watch his business, his hard work, his pride and joy be destroyed in our kitchen via the cameras in and around the store. At that moment, I understood the term weak in the knees, and it continued for 3 more days. We need law and order. We need leaders who want law and order. We need our police. And again, I want to thank you, Mr. President, for being here. You work tirelessly for America. I pray for you, applaud you, and I cheer for you every single day.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So, Kathy, let me ask you, when you say long hours, he would be there long when the business was operating. He'd get home very late, leave very early. It was all work, right?
Holidays, too.
And then one day he saw these, what would you want to call them? Let's be nice. Let's be nice.
Criminals.
Anarchists. Yeah, criminals. Let's be nice. Criminals. We'll call them criminals. That's a nice word. But you saw this, and you saw this on television happening.
We watched it in our kitchen with our children and cried.
So, do you think you'll be able to rebuild on the existing site? Is it your land, or how does that work?
Yes, I've had the land for 20 years.
So it's yours. You have the land. Right?
I am. I want to be the leader in the community. I'm going to rebuild. We need help. We need help from the city. We need help from...
Do you have somebody good going to run for mayor and going to run for governor? You know, because when we called out the National Guard that stopped it, did you see that scene? But they should have called them out. You know, it's up to local to call them. But the National Guard came. It was all quelled in like 2 minutes. Remember that? They lined up and they started, and we weren't politically correct. It was tear gas and it was whatever. You know, now they don't want you to use tear gas or pepper spray or anything. They want the police and law enforcement to really get hurt, if you think. But they lined up, and from the minute you saw the first, the second, the third, they came in buses in a wave, and they were 4 deep, 5 deep, and they just walked like there was nothing to it, like a knife cutting through butter, and it was all over. That was it. They should have done it. They should have called us a lot sooner. We wanted to go. You know, we have to get called by them. Otherwise, we have to do a very special act, and that's a big deal. But I wish they did. So you still have faith in the community.
I do. I have faith in the residents. I have faith in the other businesses. But we need help. I mean, it's an ecosystem where residents need a place safe to live. Businesses need to be protected. Visitors need to feel comfortable. But with that, we need the local government to protect all of us. And that didn't happen. If the National Guard would have been brought in 48 hours earlier, things would have been different. And if this wasn't a time to bring them in, when is the time?
Well, there was no better scene than watching the National Guard on that street, and that was a street loaded up with bad people. And they just started moving forward, and they never moved an inch backward, did they? I'll never forget that scene. I said, why didn't they do that 5 days sooner? Because they could have. We were calling, call up the National Guard. We don't need them. Really, your police just ran down the street. And by the way, you have very good police, but they told not to do anything. It's not the police. Your police are great, but it's that they weren't allowed to do what they're supposed to be doing. You know, we just got the endorsement of the New York City Police Association, which is amazing. All over Texas, all over Florida, all over everywhere. Ohio, we have the endorsement of the police groups. I don't know, I would say 100%. Perhaps there's something, I don't know, maybe there's a little group that we don't know about. But all they had to do is be there a little bit sooner. And we were calling, saying, call up the National Guard. But they didn't want to do it. I don't know if it's pride or stupidity. It's one or the other, maybe both. Maybe both. So we'll give you a hand, okay? We're gonna see what we can do. And great job. You did a much better job than he did. Great job. Thank you, John. Thank you, guys. I also want to thank a couple of groups I see here, the Bikers for Trump. And these guys are amazing. They ride those big bikes, and they're on the highways all over the country. They have helicopter shots of you guys riding along, thousands and thousands of them down the highway. I wonder what happens with the guys innocently driving down a highway, and then he sees guys like you driving it a little bit faster, and he's looking, and they don't stop. They just keep coming by the hundreds. So I want to thank Bikers for Trump. You guys are fantastic. Yeah, you guys are fantastic. Got a lot of friends. They come over to the White House. And the others, voters for Trump. This just started. It started with one great gentleman. He had a vote, and they didn't want him to put up a little sign on his lawn that said, Trump Pence. right? Little sign. He said, I'll put it on my boat. He put it on the side of his boat, and all of a sudden they had thousands of boats, and then really what happened, it developed all over the country. Where there's a lake, a river, or an ocean, you got thousands of them every weekend, and they just broke the record supposedly in the Guinness Book of Records for the most boats. We'll call that a friendly protest, right? Because when you call it a friendly protest, you can do anything. You know that, right? They do that. You can't go to church, you can't do anything, but if you're protesting, that's okay. So we call it, everything should be a protest. Maybe the churches should call themselves protesting. If they protest, they can open up their church. That's the governors on the left. That's the Democrats. And remember, get out there and vote. You have a great Republican, Jason, great Republican Senate candidate, and he's going to do a fantastic job representing you. That's what you need. You need representatives, whether it's a mayor or governor or senator. You got to get the right people. You'll have no problems whatsoever. Your names were given to my people, and we're going to see what we can do for you. We'll help you out a little bit, and you might be very surprised. We'll get you going. But thank you all, and at the Democrat convention this week, we will not hear a word about these innocent victims or the left-wing violence that's taking place. And you know, I have to say that this country is very safe. We have many, many cities, and mostly, I mean almost all, are very safe, very well run. They happen to mostly be run by, I hate to say it, by Republicans, but they're very well run. They have law and order, they have low taxes, they're doing fantastically well. Despite the virus coming in from China, we're doing great on that too. We're very close to the vaccine and therapeutics. We've done ventilators to a level that we're helping the rest of the world with the ventilators, and we've done really well. We have a lot of good news, and way down in Florida now, way down in California, way down in Arizona. The governors have done great all over the country. I mean, for the most part, the governors have really done well, and they've helped. But they needed a lot of help because they weren't stockpiled, and we now stockpiled them. And you'll see it's a lot of good things are happening. It's going away, but we're also going to have vaccines very soon. And very soon we're going to have therapeutics, which to me is even more important. You go in and you give somebody a shot, or you give them a transfusion, and they walk away very shortly thereafter, and they say, I'm feeling good. To me, that's what I really want, and that's going to happen probably faster anyway. But I just want to thank everybody for being here. While I'm president, I will fight for a future for every American city, and again, most of these are really incredible, safe, beautifully well-run cities. We want every American family to be secure, and every child, we want them to be able to achieve the American dream, just like these incredible people. They will again achieve the American dream. We took it away from them with no law and order. We took it away. Could have been easily kept, but they will achieve again, a second time, the American dream. So I just want to thank you for being here. This was a very quick stop. I said, let's stop. They said, well, you know, I don't know. We don't have time. I said, I have time. I don't know about you, but I said, I have time. And just really and very strongly, God bless you all. God bless our law enforcement, our police. God bless our fire department. Our fire department was really very brave. They are all over the country. They're incredible. So I want to thank them also. And we will see you, and remember, November 3rd, that is going to be the most important election in the history of our country. That is going to be an election like no other. Even 2016, as important as that was, it was different because they weren't crazed at that time. They weren't so far radical left. They didn't want to destroy our country.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. If you guys enjoyed the president's speech, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up and you share it on social media. President Trump also spoke in, give me 1 second here. He also spoke in Minnesota. If you guys missed that speech, it should be coming up on your screen. And President Trump also spoke in Wisconsin. So a bunch of speeches of President Trump today. He also addressed the media before he left the White House. He talked about his brother passing away and how there's going to be a reception or an event at the White House, most likely on Friday of this week. So if you guys missed all of those videos, they should be coming up on your screen. Thank you so much, folks. And we hope that you guys share this video on social media. You give it a thumbs up and you share it on social media. This was in Minneapolis. This was in Minneapolis at the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. President Trump mini rally in Minneapolis. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Peace.